Hi, my name is Gabby from Cooking with the Cullinans, and today we are gonna make meatloaf, and it is gonna be so yummy and delicious. Just look at that color. It is amazing. It's so yummy. The best part is it's a quick dinner for during the week. It also makes really, really great leftover meatloaf sandwiches. Next up, I'll show you everything you're gonna need. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Gabby with Cooking with the Cullinans, and today I'm gonna make meatloaf. Meatloaf can be a really great weeknight dinner, and I don't know about you, but I also love a meatloaf sandwich. So I've recently found this Kinder's meatloaf seasoning packet, and I will say it has been a game changer. I absolutely love it. The spices are really, really great in it. It's kind of an addiction. So we're gonna need some hamburger. I have a little bit more than a pound, about 1.2 pounds. It says that you can actually use 1.5 pounds of ground beef, so my loaf is gonna be a little bit smaller. You're gonna need 3 eggs, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, some cooking spray for the loaf pan. I just use that because it makes the cleanup a little bit easier, and 1/2 cup of milk, and of course this Kinder's meatloaf seasoning packet. All right, the next step will be that I'm gonna mix this all together. Okay, now that I have everything gathered up together, we're getting ready to mix everything and make the meatloaf. So I've cracked my 3 eggs, which I'm gonna go ahead and whisk those up. And you might be thinking, okay, does she really need to do that? Nope, you can just plunk them right in there and you can do the mixing later. But I think it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and whisk these 3 eggs. I'm actually gonna pour it right in with the milk. And I'm gonna whisk this all together. Fantastic. Now I'm gonna pour the milk right in here with the ground beef, the breadcrumbs, and you can obviously make your own breadcrumbs. You can use ones that are a little more, that look a little more cubed. I like to use the ground up breadcrumbs. So I'm just gonna kind of start to massage this all together. Didn't quite think this all the way through. Is that all right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the packet of the seasoning and get this all mixed together. So once I have it all in nice and mixed in together, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in this prepared bread pan. And then it's gonna bake in the oven for about 40 minutes. All right, so the next step I will show you right before I put the meatloaf into the oven. This is what the meatloaf looks like all mixed up, and it is ready to go into the preheated 350-degree oven. We are gonna cover it up with some aluminum foil. And we are gonna cook it for 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Once the 40 minutes is over, we're gonna put some ketchup on top of it, and we're gonna cook it uncovered for about 15 or 20 more minutes. All right, I will see you when the 40 minutes is over. Okay, so I've just taken the meatloaf out of the oven, and I'm gonna very carefully uncover it. Be very careful because there will be quite a bit of steam that will come out, and you don't want to burn yourself. So there's the meatloaf looking nice and delicious, but a little pale on the top. So the recipe on the back of the Kinder classic meatloaf packet calls for 1/2 cup of ketchup on the top. What I like to do is I like to actually, in that 1/2 cup, I have about 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. Today I'm using just the Sweet Baby Ray's, and 1/4 cup of the ketchup, which I mixed together. And I do know that the barbecue sauce is a lot of ketchup, but I like the flavor that it gives to it. So we're just gonna put this half of a cup right on top, and you're just gonna spread it out. You can do this with a brush, a basting brush if you have one. You can use a spoon, a spatula, doesn't matter, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and put it back in the oven for an additional 15 minutes. So I'll see you in 15 minutes with a delicious meatloaf. Okay, so this is the meatloaf right out of the oven. It has cooked for the 40 minutes and then for another 15 minutes. So now is the moment of truth. We're gonna get to try it. So since this is a non-stick pan, I'm gonna use a utensil that is not metal. And remember, I used some non-stick cooking spray. By the way, I did let this rest for about 10 minutes. I did use the non-stick cooking spray on it to make this step a lot easier, even though I am struggling with it. Perfect. And there is our meatloaf. So now, the moment of truth. Gotta get some of the topping. That is some really good meatloaf. And the best part is, it's gonna make a great meatloaf sandwich.